Yo, what is up, everybody? John from Top Tactics here, bringing you another video. As you can see, I'm taking this one from home. Pretty excited about the new Auxiliary Cadre detachment, so I just want to talk through a few lists I've been thinking about, some different ways that you can take it. So let's just get right into it. First and foremost, Auxiliary Cadre Breachers. So, as you can see this list, we've got Shadowsun. I think lone ops are really good in this detachment because you can have a lone op character who can't be targeted within 12 or outside of 12, and then it can be nearby a unit of, let's say, Kroot Rampagers or Kroot Carnivores, and they can also be lone op 18. So effectively, Commander Shadowsun plus a Kroot unit that's wholly within 6 inches is just a nice little lone op bubble of 18 inches where your opponent can't shoot you. So you can really effectively pre-measure and see, hey, where can my opponent advance and shoot? How far up the table can I be with Shadowsun plus her little posse? Nice other thing about Shadowsun is she also gives reroll ones to hit to the entire army. So it's not just limited to Tau Empire. Also includes the Kroot, the Rampagers, the Vespid. So a nice little addition there. Next, we've got two commanders, one in Cold Star. Both in Cold Star. One's going to be leading a fusion team. Another one's going to be leading a missile pod team. Both, I think, are really strong in this detachment. The missile pod team doesn't necessarily need a guide because they're going to get full hit rerolls. They're targeting something at starting strength. They get a lot of benefit out of the extra AP from this detachment. And +2 strength, getting them up to strength 9, AP 2 for 2, is a really good break point. Starts really helping out into things that are like light vehicles, for example. The Melty unit, again, also really strong in this detachment because of the +2 strength. Stratagem, as well as the extra AP. They'll go up to strength 11, AP 5. So again, another very strong option here. Now, I haven't opted to take any dedicated anti-tank other than the commander in Cold Star with the fusion blasters. That's because the breachers can honestly be your pseudo anti-tank. Although they're only 20 shots, again, with the extra strength, they can be strength 8, AP 2, 1 damage, full wound rolls if your opponent's on an objective. Quite strong. And this list is kind of built around the idea that your Cold Star in the Missile Pod Commander is going to start on the board. He has the Admired Leader enhancements, which gives him the ability to pick a unit in the command phase, which is really important, within 12 inches of him, and give them +1 OC if they're Kroot or Vespid. So, as you can see down here, we've got a couple Kroot units. We've got a Pathfinder team to block out infiltrates to start the game. 2 units of Vespid, 6 Rampagers, 3 Rampagers, and then 3 units of 5 Kroot Hounds. The reason you're taking those 3 units of 5 Kroot Hounds is ideally at least 1, maybe 2 of those are going to get that +1 OC buff. Either deny your opponent primary because they can move 12 inches, then you could spend a CP to auto-advance them 6. So they can go 18 inches and put 5 OC on your opponent's objective fairly trivially. Also, because of their 12-inch move, they can go out and get things like area denial. They can storm hostile. They can do containment. They can do any of the action secondaries, cleanse, sabotage, you name it. So I think there's a lot of value in that extra OC enhancement. And then worst case scenario, right, you put it on a unit of Kroot Carnivores. Next thing you know, you got a 30 OC that you can auto-advance 13 inches. All you need to do is probably get 3 or 4 of them on your opponent's objective. Again, deny primary. So I really like that enhancement for a Kroot-heavy force. Next, we've got the 2 units of stealth suits. I find that the third isn't as necessary because of Shadowsun's reroll ones to hit aura and also access to the reroll ones to wound strat. Another important aspect is the Cold Star unit doesn't need it as much as long as Shadowsun's nearby because they're getting full wound rerolls anyways. What else about this list? We'll talk about Rampagers more in the next list that we talk about because we have a unit of or a list that has 2x6, but 6 of them can fit near one of these ghost kills right here. And they can kind of sit in a little bubble and move up the table. Because the ghost kill's base is so big, they can easily fit around within a 6-inch, within 6 inches, so they get that lone op aura. A great counter-charging threat because they get mortals on the charge if they counter-charge. They hit super hard. They're really great in this detachment for the fallback strat. So if they were eligible to fight this phase, they can then move up the table, spend a CP, move up the table, and then you have a 25-inch threat range with advanced and charge with that unit. So they have a much more deceiving threat range than you would think. Also because they scout 7. So they're going to scout 7, and they can move up to 13 with advanced charge. So that'll be 20 inches, and then they get to charge. So 32-inch threat range turn 1. I think that's really gross. And I think is definitely a reason that these guys are going to be awesome in this attachment. They have more support with extra AP, reroll wounds. It's some nasty shit, to be honest with you guys. So pretty exciting stuff. Also because just an aside, what I really like about this detachment is your go turn with this detachment is really great because you can do things like use the +2 strength strat on Sunforge, for example, while you're advancing charging Kroot Rampagers. So rather than some of the other Tau detachments where you're only using, extra AP on one unit, or you're getting wound rerolls on breachers out of a transport on an objective, only that one unit's getting it. Here, you can kind of get the most out of your Kroot units and your Tau units in the same turn because they're using different strats. Fire Knife unit we talked about. The Sunforge unit is great. Ghost Skill is great, especially with the 7 shots it'll have. So 6 shots, again, plus your strength. It'll be strength 10, AP 3 for 3 damage. One other note about the Kroot Hounds: it's really nice to be able to have something that can move 12, get within 9 of your opponent to buff that extra AP without really feeling bad about giving a real unit away. So I think there is a lot of give and take with this particular take on here. There's not like you're not in danger of losing too many Kroot units that you're not getting the extra AP for your Tau units. The other thing about Vespids that I really like, one thing to note is to proc the +2 strength. To proc the +2 strength for the stratagem, you need to be wholly within 9 inches of a Vespid or Kroot unit. So it's really nice to have these guys so that they can go up in the air. And then when you know you're going to use that strat, you can deep strike them within 9 of your own Tau Empire unit, wholly within, so that they can benefit from that +2 strength. Awesome. Next, we're going to do the 20-man punch. So I'll talk about which of these I'm most likely to run at the end here, but this is more leaning into the 20-man Kroot Carnivore unit. So again, you'll see that, or sorry, I'm not running the extra OC here, but what I am running is the Kroot Lone Spear with the Student of the Kauyon. So the Student of the Kauyon gives units Deep Strike. You'll also see some of the other characters here. So the Kroot Flesh Shaper, it'll give a 6-up Feel No Pain to the Kroot Carnivore unit. They kill something, it goes to a 5-up Feel No Pain. They'll be joined with the War Shaper, which gives them a free strat. So they'll be able to free strat either Advance and Charge, -1 AP in shooting or melee, or reroll wounds with sustained, and that'll pair really well with the Kroot Lone Spear, who will give them full hit rerolls if it hits the unit that they're targeting. So a bit of a blender unit, and then Student of the Kauyon allows that unit to deep strike. So what you want to do is then use that as somewhat of a rapid ingress threat, where you can bring it down, tag a bunch of things on the board, potentially kill a couple of units, get that 5-up Feel No Pain, and start being really annoying. You'll see I still have in here the Missile Pod and Fusion unit with Shadowsun, again with that reroll once the hit aura. You'll see I've got the Kroot Farstalkers with the Trail Shaper, who the Trail Shaper gives you a redeploy. I think the redeploy is really nice in this detachment because you want to take advantage of the fact that the Kroot Farstalkers are a 12-man unit, 13 with the Trail Shaper, and you can string them out across the entire board in No Man's Land if you get the first roll and block out all the infiltrate from your opponent, which I think is super strong. I think this detachment, may have a problem with getting run down immediately, super early, if your opponent can pin you in. So being able to block out the entire board for all of your scouts, not allow any infiltrates, I think is super strong. And then you get to redeploy that unit to a safer position when the redeploys happen. So you're not even giving that unit away. So I think that's really great. 2 more stealth suits, 2 Vespid, the 6-man Rampager unit, and here we have the 2 Hammerheads in this list. So the Hammerheads with Ion, again, they really benefit from that extra AP, pulling up to Strength 8, AP 3 for 3. The Seeker Missile is going to AP 4, Burst Cannon is going to AP 2, and then with the extra strength, it's kind of nasty. You go Strength 10, Strength 16, and then Strength 8 on the Burst Cannons, respectively. And then you still get the Krootox Rampagers running around with either the Ghost Skill or Shadowsun for a nice countercharge threat. So I really like this list. To be seen if this unit is actually worth it or not. But if you want to run Kroot, this is the way I would run it, with the War Shaper, with the Flesh Shaper, the Lone Spear to give them full rerolls to hit with sustained, take the reroll wounds, and all of a sudden this unit hits pretty dang hard. Awesome, and last but not least, we've got Beef. So this is going to be the 2x6 Rampager unit. Oopsies. So we've got Shadowsun again. We've got the 2 commanders. One with the Admired Leader for the extra OC, And then we've got the trail shaper so that I can redeploy if I go first after blocking out the my opponent's infiltrate, which I really like. I think that's worth it for this detachment specifically. Then we got the 2 units of stealth suits again because we don't really need the third for the because of the Shadowsun aura. 2 units of Espid, and then we got the 2x6 Rampagers. So one of them's probably hanging around the Ghost Keel, the other one's hanging around Shadowsun. I think this is a really well-rounded list. Being able to give either the Carnivores or the Farstalkers or the Vespid or the Hounds or the Rampagers extra OC is really nasty. Getting the Rampage unit up to 18 OC is really great. Farstalkers getting them up to 2 OC, Carnivores getting them up to 3 OC. Again, with the auto advance 6 really gives you a really good control over your opponent's primary score, in my opinion. Also, the Carnivores, I think one of them is mandatory just because of the sticky objectives and the potential to put a unit out in the center and have them be lone opt, force your opponent to come put something with an 18 that you can then shoot back with a Ghost Keel, with a Hammerhead, with the Missile Pod Crisis unit. So that's really all I have for you guys today. Just really excited about this attachment. I think there's a lot of play here, and as you can see, definitely a lot of different variety as far as what you can bring. And I think this is just totally scratching the surface. I think there's a lot of flexibility with this attachment, but this is just where my head goes. So hope you all enjoy the holidays and enjoy this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.